Rob, with Zoe. Now tell me, is it Zoe Computer or just Zoe? Because I don't want to be lame.
Zoe Computer, but you can also just refer to it as Zoe. Zoe is kind of like the name that people kind of refer to. It's sort of like a character.
We were talking before this. I'm a almost daily Zoe user. I have my elevator pitch, but I think best coming from you. How would you one-liner pitch Zoe?
Zoe is an intelligent computer that's entirely yours and lives in the cloud.
That you can text too. That's my favorite part. I use it to store like my book notes. I was telling them I have an unstructured contacts list of like people at the gym whose name I want to remember. There's not really a great place to store that information now except maybe a notes file, but I can't text my notes file. I can be like, Siri, who's that guy at the gym who knows my name and I keep forgetting his, and it'll text Zoe and it's awesome. How did you and your Zoe founder meet? I'm a sucker for puns and that's one of my favorites. How did y'all meet?
The story goes back probably 13, 14 years ago. Ben and I met at our first jobs out of college, Venmo, early team there, and became pretty fast friends. We started the first version of this company, which was an infrastructure and inference company in 2023, 2022, somewhere. Right as AI was sort of, clearly coming into the zeitgeist and people we're just hearing about ChatGPT. It just sort of became clear that it was like one of the most interesting times to build something, do something, a lot's gonna change. And so Ben and I kind of took the plunge and started a company.
That's awesome.
So I think was born kind of out of, let's just build for ourselves, like what's the computing environment, given that computers are sort of understand language now. What's the computing environment that I want, just personally? As a huge computer nerd, over time we've graduated in a lot of people who are not computer nerds, just the whole general public, yoga teachers and biology people. And there is something bigger here. There's something about like, what is the future of computing?
It's a big question I think on everybody's minds right now. I would say a much less sustainable version of you guys recently went viral. Claude Bot or OpenMolt, I genuinely don't know what it's called right now. Has that given you guys a meaningful lift and at least interest, if not customers and users?
Yeah, definitely. I think it has a lot of the same intuitions. We have, I think we're a similar idea taken a lot more seriously.
I 100% agree.
I think the core intuition is, yes, this sort of AI chatbot type thing is a lot more powerful, a lot more personal when you mix it with the computer, which is the most flexible tool we have ever conceived.
100%. To me, when I first used Zoe, it changed the whole paradigm for me of like what was possible with AI, because I was so used to query response. I'm a software engineer too, and super helpful in like up-leveling my productivity and kind of doing things for me, getting me started on projects. But then it took the notion of a second brain to me to a whole new level. Because it was like you said, it was an interface that could manage and store memory, retrieve that stuff, and I could interact with it in natural language. And that to me, I feel like Zoe is the closest thing right now that exists to a truly agentic entity that can do things on my behalf in a way that I trust and like is secure.
Definitely right now, kind of the goal and what people love about it, I do think that there's like, it goes even further. And maybe one of our basic sort of beliefs is that the kind of computing and sort of like patterns that are really only in software organizations now, individuals will have a form of that entire stack.
So this gets into the vision questions. Can you go deeper there? Like, what do you mean? Because I'm excited.
So if you kind of break it down, it's just like, I think like in a software org, so I guess like highest level, we know that computing can do anything. It's just historically, it's been really hard to do. Software is really hard and expensive to make, and you've got to coordinate a bunch of people to solve these problems. That is changing really rapidly. But the fact that you can just create anything you want, you can describe with computing, I think is still true. And that reality is now possible for like normal folks.
It's accessible to everybody.
To make that happen. But they need sort of like infrastructure, and they need systems, and the sort of like best place to tap compute and the most robust available like systems is this like very heavily developed industrial cloud compute. And normal folks have never had any sort of touch points to all of that because it's just never been possible or practical or anything like that. Now with this interface, that is possible, and I think they will kind of own, like my mom will have a database and a server, and she doesn't need to know she has those things, but they are sort of instrumental in a lot of the things that she cares about and wants to do.
That underlying structure that you guys provide, regardless of how aware the end user is of it, is crucial to actually getting all the things done they want to get done, right? Like storing and retrieving memory, performing automations and operations. Like they shouldn't have to know. But what's cool for me is when I do want to get into the nitty gritty and I have like sync thing, bringing all my Zoho to my Claude Code instance on my desktop. And like when I do want to nerd out and go deeper, I can, because I have access to the file tree in ways that other tools don't give you. And I think that's one of the biggest innovations you guys have come up with.
People should feel like they own it, and so they should obviously be able to operate it themselves, or have this sort of very friendly, super smart entity operate.
I love
as
it.
well.
What were some memorable bumps along the way that you guys had to overcome?
I already mentioned the sort of pivot. That was a really hard kind of like jarring pivot, because we're doing fine as a business. I think it's really hard to make that call of like, is this ambitious enough? Is this sort of like important enough? Are we the right people to be doing this kind of question?
What was some of your first signs of the pivot being correct?
At least from my perspective, how it started was that I was building for myself. So my sense for what was correct was just like, I want this. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And now that I've made it, I'm using it myself. And I think that part of that was the intuition. And then we saw a bunch of other folks join who are not software engineers and don't know anything about building. And I think time and time again, people would say like, oh, this is in some form intoxicating. I've never been able to like have ideas and then like do anything with those ideas in this format. And I think like that was really encouraging. It's like, yes, there are a lot of people who have good systems thinking, or like kind of can describe what they want and have never had an outlet to kind of like making themselves their own stuff.
Getting raving fans like that is intoxicating for, I think, you as a founder, at least for me.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. The digital business card tool, the sales enablement tool, we never were power users of as founders. So we weren't really salespeople. Always be selling, right? But like not in that way. And then when we started taking the API more seriously and started to build and tinker ourselves on top of it, we were like, this is our dream. Like we want to use this product. And I think if you can get to that place as a founder, it's pretty magical. The intersection of something you're building for yourself that you love and that other people find value in and love as well. It's like, you did it.
Yeah.
What else do you want the world to know about Zoho?
I think it's just the beginning. I think it's a really exciting time in sort of everyone's figuring things out about not only what is possible, what does the future look like, how does this change our lives, and we're sort of exploring alongside everyone else. We have this thesis of giving personal infrastructure to everyone, which we think is really exciting, and we'll see.
That's the best part of it. We'll see. Any advice you would give to founders or aspiring founders based on all your experience?
Have fun, work with people you love, do something you care about.
Can't argue that. You do that, you'll never work a day in your life, right?
Yeah.
That's the saying. Very excited about what you're doing. As a customer, as a user, I love your product, and I think it's a really cool peek into what the future looks like. So thank you for your time. Thanks for letting us crash your Puerto Rican retreat.
Likewise, I mean, we're happy customers.
Cool.